My drink?
Yeah, of course. Okay, we are recording. It's started. So again, remember, we're just having conversation. We're
Yeah.
amongst friends, and I'm going to trash you guys right now.
Oh, perfect.
What's new?
Okay, so Ashley, it's been over a year. It was February 19th, the last time that we filmed with you.
Yes.
So welcome back.
Thanks for
Um,
having me back, guys.
yes, of course, of course. I personally want to know, like, how do you feel personally with last year? You were talking about, like, motherhood and with work and trying to figure out a balance and it being difficult for you. And you also talked about how you did not make really time for yourself. So that way you can
Yes.
create kind of balance and something mental for you that you feel good and calm. What has changed? Have you done any of the work? Have you done any of those things?
Yeah, actually, I have. Thanks, Mitch. I have. I would say that it was interesting listening to that episode because it had been so long. And I feel like I have like changed so much since then. I feel like I've grown so much. So it was kind of like felt good in a way. It was hard to listen to, but also felt good in a way because I feel like I have done and life has gone easier. So it was cool to reflect that like in this year, they both started school. So I think I had a lot of like more alone time and a lot more time to like focus on work, focus on myself, focus on them without them being there, like just getting stuff done and ready. And I don't know. It just seems like life has been smoother. Just
Good.
having
I will.
support.
I will say, from your business part of it, I have noticed you a big change on like how you've shown up and the things that you've done, and constantly decorating the salon. And so, I mean, I've noticed. I just want to know if
Yes, definitely. Because I think I just like finally had time. Like, as I was never really like by myself. Like, I was either like at work with clients or I was with them. And not that that's like changed so much, but it has changed where it's like I can take an hour or two before I start work to do stuff that I need to do.
You can
Okay.
focus on yourself.
Yeah. Or like get here early, do inventory, or like be able to like just be more present.
you done any therapy at all.
I did start therapy too. I did start therapy. So I think that's helped too. Just like talking to someone and getting
Have
like
you ever had you gone to therapy before?
Yes, I did go to therapy when I was in my like in high school and then like when my mom passed away, I went for like some years after. And then I think therapy's great. I just like hadn't found someone. I honestly didn't try that hard really to find someone. I kind of need like I'm sure you guys can relate. Like I can't really have like a standing appointment. I kind of need one that like she kind of works with my schedule. Like every week we kind of go with the weekend being like, okay, and Zoom, which like I kind of do need that.
Marissa, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What has changed for you? Do you want kids still? Do you not want them? Where have you been? Because that's one of the reasons why
I
you wanted to
have
like
no
interview
idea.
Ashley.
One day I'm
Does
like,
she
yeah.
scare you?
Yeah. One day I'm like, yes. The other day I'm like, fuck no. Hell no. But yeah, I still don't know. I feel like even more so now opening up the salon, I'm like, I just want to focus on the business for a while before even then revisiting that. I do feel like I want to freeze my eggs to have the option later.
Oh, I love that. Have you looked
Yeah.
into like, the information, or
No, I just know it's expensive.
it's
But
just expensive?
But it's always like I would say even if it's expensive, do it so that like you have that option.
mm-hmm.
Like you never
Yeah,
want to like
because exactly. I mean, the fact that my mind changes every single day. And I know Paul is so stressed with work right now that I feel like I can't even picture us having a kid right now. But who knows if that changes later on.
and honestly too, there's no perfect time. Like I don't think there's ever a time in your life where you're like, oh my gosh, we're so settled. We're
And I
so
feel like that's kind of for everything, in my opinion, because like
yeah.
even with the salons, it's like with Aster and Cove, I don't feel like I was ready for that, and I just jumped into it. I was kind of like let go of that. Hemlock and Co. We were talking about it. We're like, let's see what happens. I don't think you're ever fully ready, and even when you think that you do, I feel like all of these things come up. The stress, you just got to
Things
jump
you
in.
have no control over.
No,
And I think
some stuff, yeah.
I think even like listening to that episode of like, because it was February and we had opened in November, and just even how far like Aster and Cove has come since then, like it's just like a well-oiled, like it's just so different than like even then in February. It's just
100%. I definitely feel everything's like there's nothing unfinished.
yeah,
I would say that I feel that way with Aster and Cove. I feel like it's good. I think we definitely need to bring in someone
yeah, for sure.
on both Hemlock and Co and Aster and Cove. But I definitely feel 100% more relaxed, and there's a good flow.
Yeah. It just like is easy for
It's
sure.
easy. Shayla has been really good at like maneuvering between the both of us. And I can tell she gets overwhelmed sometimes, but I think it's been really smooth.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
love to see this big transformation with both of you, how you guys both seem at peace with everything.
I mean, yeah, I mean, the truth was too is which I appreciate Ashley about this when I was doing this with you, Marissa, I told Ashley, I was like, I need you to like 100% pick up the slack right now because we're doing this. And and I just remembered how stressed out I was doing the opening up Aster and Cove. And then when we were opening up Hemlock Co, I just anticipated that there was going to be some level of stress with it just because it's like just normal, just what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Ask any person who opens up any type of business, there's always stress. So I
For
just
sure.
anticipated that to happen for sure. Um, I do want to talk about that with you, Marissa. Like, how do you feel when we were opening up Hemlock and Co for you? This is like your first experience.
Look at my eyes get
Yeah,
big.
Marissa, how do you feel about that?
It was scary. I mean, big change. I'm such a type A personality. I like to assess risk before taking any steps. It was scary. It was stressful. I definitely had days of just crying and then like just being super anxious. But now I'm so happy we did it and I have absolutely no regret about it. Like I don't think I've ever felt at peace with my business like I do now. Like just the fact getting there in the morning and I'm like, wow, this is ours and it just feels so calm and relaxing that we have our own place. I love that. But yeah,
And
it
I
was
do,
scary.
so that's good. I do want to talk about a little bit like why we left our other salon that we were at for over 10 years. And it doesn't have to be, I don't want trying to make anything. What was your reasoning for that you wanted to leave?
I think for me, I was feeling stagnant. I wanted to take the next step in my career. And what it really came down to is I just wanted to create my own environment and energy that I wanted for my clients and myself personally. That was really, and then we finally found a place that we really loved. So that was why I just wanted to have my own space and energy and choose what I wanted around me, essentially. What about you?
I mean, I would say the same thing. I would say this was different for me than Aster and Co because I felt like Aster and I were like forced into it, where we were like, oh shit, because like Ashley was like we said before was like struggling with all the things that she had to do with her family and like work and trying to balance all of that out. And then when we found out that our salon was closing, we were like, fuck. And so we were just it was a completely different feeling. So it was like something that we were pushing ourselves to do. And
Yes, I feel
luckily,
like we didn't like choose it necessarily. Like, I don't think the timing wise for both of us, we would not have chosen then to do it. But in a
correct.
way, that was like a blessing in disguise. So it is, I think, for you guys, probably so much harder to have
So
like
for,
chosen to do it in
So
a way.
for this, I definitely been feeling it for a while. I think I don't want to stand negative, but I'm going to talk about like what my experience
Yeah.
was. And I felt like it was hard for me um, because I had, which we all do, we all work there, so much love for that space and the people that we worked with. But I started to find myself feeling really uninspired and I didn't want to be there anymore to the point where I would like start like booking my clients in a short time period because I wanted to be there from like 8 to 1 and then just get out because I didn't want to be there anymore to the point where I was even having some of my clients drive down and I was doing the drive even though I lived out here in LA, going to Aster and Cove in Newport Beach on Saturdays and making my clients go. And my clients were even kind of saying too, like they liked the energy and the space in Aster and Cove. So I definitely, when Marissa and I were looking for a space, that's what I wanted was to create a space so that way we can feel at peace and our clients can come and create some kind of environment that everyone loves because I just wasn't loving it anymore. You know, I do still love that space because I've learned so much from that space. But I think it was like you said, Marissa, too, I felt stagnant. I felt like I wasn't moving anywhere and I felt like nothing was changing. And I think I just needed to make that jump. And we made that jump. And I know, Marissa, I pushed you a little bit more. But shockingly, towards the end, I felt like you were like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. I was like, fuck.
I think for me is I definitely felt guilt leaving there because we had been there for so many years that it was like really hard. But I feel like at
Yeah.
that point I was like, we found a place that we loved. That was the biggest thing. I was like, I'm not going to make any changes unless I feel like 100% feel like I'm drawn to the place.
Well, and I think too,
Uh,
when something like when the stars align, it's like you kind of have to jump on it, even though like it's so scary. And like, I remember you calling me and being like, I don't think I should do this. I'm freaking out and all that stuff. And it's like, we did
Well,
too
because
when we did this and we had to do this and we still freaked out. So it's like, it's change is scary. And
and I
like,
think financially too, I was like really scared. And then obviously I had such good support from like both of you guys and being like, okay, well, we're all in this together. Even Ashley, even though we're running the business is completely separate, still a part of both. And I love how like I knew that I had support from both of you guys on both sides. Like Ashley, you were very like, what do you guys need help with? What can I help you with? And even if it was just to be there.
yeah.
So
And it is
uh
like, I think like I haven't felt it for you guys because I worked there too for 15 years or whatever before I worked down here only. And it's like, we all had like such loyalty to everyone there. Like we love them. So it's hard to leave a space that like you started out, you
that was our
grew
hope.
there.
That you
And
built a relationship with all
yeah,
these
like
people for so long.
they're amazing people, but at the same time, sometimes it just like isn't working anymore.
I'll say though, I felt guilt as well, like you, Marissa, but I won't lie. And I don't know if this is just for me. I think it was the initial of like the breakup.
Yeah.
I think that was like one of the hardest parts, but I won't lie. Like, I think afterwards, once it was done and all of that, I was like, I felt relieved. I felt excited. I felt all of the good things. And then we looked into the space. And I do want to talk about how we created the space because originally why I wanted to do this podcast with the three of us was because we were getting DMs on Hemlock Co people asking like, oh my God, where'd you get your stations? Where'd you get your mirrors? And I was like, oh fuck, I have to react onto this because almost put us into major debt with the story. So I do want to, Marissa and I originally wanted to do something a little bit different from Aster and Cove, just so that way it can just be a different space. And it actually still is, even though we have some of the same
Yeah.
thing. But I do want to talk
Yeah.
about the stations here.
Yeah, my big thing was obviously you have your both salons, but I still wanted our salon to look very different. Well, I didn't want it to look the same. That was my concern. I was like, I don't want it to look exactly the same. So naturally, when you said the stations, I was like, I want something different.
And we
But
did. We tried every single thing to look for something different. We almost went to DSM Designs. Love them. Ashley and I almost did that in the beginning as well. We looked.
I mean, like that's the thing we tried too. Like we didn't necessarily want this either originally. Like
Well-
I think this was a lot of like on our mood board, like the look of it. But I think we thought we were gonna go to an actual like salon manufacturer that did
the thing is,
stations and
I
all that
love
stuff.
the look of yours. I just didn't want it to be the same. And then after doing all the research and looking, I was like, shit, it makes sense why they went with that. Like
Yes.
it looks so nice for what and the cost, like it's
and
crazy.
for what we spent on
Yeah,
the stations.
it's
So
unreal.
originally we were going to go to DSM Design. Is that what they're called? Ash?
I think so, yeah.
And truthfully, at that point with Tiffany, when we were leaving that salon, it was because we technically needed to have the salon done in like 2.5 weeks.
Mhm.
Luckily, that space had plumbing and everything done already, so that was a good thing. But we were like, screw it, we're gonna spend. I think it was like what, $12K
Per station.
per station. Like, and it technically would have been a total of like 4 stations.
Yeah.
but
So I think
it
ours it was
$12
gonna be like 24,000.
So
I
we
think
were
for
like,
the 4.
and we were like, okay, screw it. So
And
we'll do.
but I think the thing was ours too was like the leeway. Like it also wasn't gonna be here for like 6 weeks or something. That's
But
what
we were like, at that point, we are like, screw it. So then we went to IKEA.
Yeah.
And we were just talking, and I was like, oh, look it. I'm like, this is kind of like, it was like a TV stand or something. And I was like, oh, this is kind of like the texture that, that we're wanting. I was like, too bad it's not drawers and we can connect them. And then this lady, which thank the universe, I always believe that God and the universe always helps you out, was like, you know that you can customize all of these things and you can make them into drawers. And then you can put your own knobs or do whatever it is that you want to do. And I was like, what? So we
Yeah,
looked
we
at
were
it. And
shocked.
it was, I mean, I don't know. You guys are, well, I don't even remember what we spent. Marissa, you probably.
I think like I honestly think each side of our salon was like $800 or $900.
I think it was like close to between 2 and 3 grand overall for everything.
Yes. Okay. For the stations alone, obviously,
For just
all
the
of them.
stations,
Which honestly that's a steal
is a
from what we saw.
Which is
yeah.
why I want to share it, because in my sense, like everybody does copy other salons, DSM Designs. So many salons have the same concept, which what I do like about ours is that it doesn't look cheap. Everything around us, like
No.
it just looks so nice. Everything at Aster Cove looks nice. It's curated perfectly.
And I think that what's nice is like you guys probably did different like pulls on the drawers than we have here. And then also the nice thing about these is like if they do become outdated or whatever, you can just get different like fronts.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think of that. That's so true.
We can just change all of those things. And then, yeah, let's talk about the mirrors too. I want to talk about that. Like, people are like, the mirrors are probably so expensive. These ones are huge, as you can see. No, Amazon.
I love looking for expensive things on a budget.
Yes.
Let's go on. I mean, Ashley and I, how much? I feel like you and I spent a little bit more on our fucking little, what is it?
Our
Details.
knobs, or our bowls.
Accent,
Yeah.
like your accent decorations.
I think we got our like pulls from like Pottery Barn or something like that are on the cabinet. I mean, on the drawers. Yeah.
Question for you, Ashley. If there's like anything like design wise for the space, what would you want to do differently? If we could go back and it wouldn't be a problem.
I mean, I think that my only annoying thing about our space is that we couldn't do like the electrical. So there's two things. The electrical, like, so our sconces are like battery operated. So it is annoying that we have to take them off every time to charge the batteries. But we looked into it when your dad was helping us and he's like, you can't open up the walls and like have the electrician cut. Like it was just going to be like such a huge like undertaking that we couldn't do it.
Especially
they
the fact that we wanted it to be done in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But would they have allowed you guys for those type of suites or no to do that in general?
Yes.
I think they would have, but it just was going to be like, then we also were going to have to pay to like redo the walls and all that. It just like didn't make sense, like in the time we
Because
had.
the walls there, which are cheap as fuck, like everything you can put like you can
They're
punch a hole. I can do it with my hand.
They're really thin. Like our like shelves, we were already had to like reinforce and stuff, like our floating shelves that like are in like the color room, like where our like bowls are for mixing and all that stuff. We've kind of had to reinforce because they were already like slumped. I would say that is annoying. And then the second thing is like in a dream world, if we could have had a second shampoo bowl, that's like what I would have been nice. But that's it.
Mark, how are you feeling about the space?
For space, to me, it still feels unfinished. I want to add decorations. Yeah, I just feel like it looks unfinished. I'm psycho though. I want things to be like fully done and fully decorated like right away.
But I think too, what's nice is like ours, like we've been like evolving as the year gone on too. Like, you know, like it's like it is sometimes you do have to like live in the space for a minute before like you
Fully
truly
furnishing
can like
it.
finish it, you know? Because I think even Chris and I like learned some lessons. Like we bought certain things that like didn't work and we had to send them back and then pay the restocking fee and all that stuff. So it's like sometimes it is nice to like stop, take a beat, and then finish those things, you know?
I will
Which
say
I
also
agree,
the
Mars.
fact. Okay.
No, go ahead.
The fact that he had already opened up the salon with you beforehand was a big reason as well why I wanted to make that jump then. I was like, well, he already knows what he's getting himself into. He's already done it. So that was like a big plus or perk for us.
Yeah. And I think with us too, it's like there's certain things that like I think Fee and I were good on where it's like we also were on such a time crunch that like we didn't have the option to like second guess certain things. So it was just like order it. Who cares? Like we'll make it work.
It's
Like
gonna work.
yeah.
And I think
Because
that's something that I realized too is like sometimes it's like it ends up looking so nice, but I always remember I was like, is it functional?
yeah.
Because one thing, obviously, we're working. So something that I'm noticed is that we have to be more mindful too of like how the space actually works as far as for the clients, what works for them, what doesn't work for them, and us, you know. So I will say that I do feel that I like how both spaces function very nicely. Obviously, there's still some here things at Hemlock and Co that we need to get, but it's just like very minor things. I think it's more so decor that we're needing.
And it's probably stuff that like nobody else notices but you too. You know what I mean? Like
100%. Because everyone that comes in here, they're like, I love the space. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you guys are here. It feels nice. It feels so relaxed. My clients, which I'm like, fuck, how stressed was I? Have been telling me, okay, they're like, your energy seems so much more different here and you seem so much more calmer than over there. She's like, and it just seems so chaotic at the other place. They're like, over here, I feel relaxed. I feel calm. I don't feel stressed. I'm like, oh, and it makes me feel good because I'm just like, that's exactly what all three of us were trying to create in our space for when people come in. And it feels for me, even like I don't want to say like a community, but maybe like it's just so nice when how our clients and your clients your guys' clients are there as well with mine, and they
Like
have
hang out
conversation and
together.
hang out. You know, Ashley, when I was there on Saturday too, like we're talking to your client, my client's talking. No one is like in any formal way of like, oh hi, I'm Ashley, I'm Marissa. Everyone just starts like yapping at each other and talking. It's like I think
It's a hangout,
it's a
essentially.
hangout and it's fun and it's like it doesn't feel pressured or forced. It's just, I will say that's something that I was thinking about the other day too. I was just like, oh my God, I really do appreciate the fact that like I have such good friendships with you guys that
Same.
our clients that come in here with us start building those relationships with us as well. And with you guys, even though they're not your guys' clients, like, you know, you get, my clients will ask you, hi, what's going on? Well, like just all the things. I'm just like, this is exactly the reason why I wanted to have my own space with you guys. So that way it's a home. I want it to feel also at home. I want people to feel comfortable when we're doing their hair.
Well, I think though too, like all three of us, and this is partly why maybe you guys like were ready to leave, was because we want to like create a certain experience for our clients, and we want everyone to feel like you're not walking into like a pretentious, like not that the salon was pretentious or just like chaotic or what. If you want like you want everyone to just come in here and feel comfortable, and I think the way you do that is like we're not standoffish, even if it's not our client. You know, we're like very
Yes.
welcoming and all that stuff. Where it's I think that like people can feel that.
We're
Like,
welcoming. Yeah, you're gonna want to. Yeah.
like if
Yeah, it's a client experience. We're hosts. We're hosting people to come into
exactly.
our space, and it's like,
I
hey,
will say, clients that when I had taken them to Montana's salon in Pasadena, I would get that feedback from clients saying that they love how relaxed that environment was compared to like a very fast paced environment.
Yeah.
well, yeah, because I think the salon we were at before there was 14 stations there.
But I mean,
And
and each client is different. Everybody likes different things. Some people love like a very fast paced environment to be around, like a lot of the buzz. So everybody's different.
Yeah. And I think I even am different, like depending on the day. Like I sometimes miss that. You know what I mean? Like I loved at Tiffany's salon, like chit chatting with Selena when she was next to me and like whoever was next to me, like, and we kind of like would talk to each other's clients. And like, I like being a part of the team. Like I think we are a
yes,
team, but it's just like, I do love having coworkers and like all that stuff. So sometimes it's like, it's a catch 22, but sometimes I love that we can make our own. It's so calm and peaceful, but sometimes it is like, if he's not here and I'm by myself, it's kind of like, damn, I wish I could be like talking shit with him right now. Or like, you know, just it like it
no, I completely agree. I'm like, we need to start now that everything's like getting there to bring other people into our space, so that way we can have that experience. So that way we can pick and choose who comes into our space, and you know,
100%.
be part of our family. Not a huge one,
No.
Yeah.
something small. You know.
What is it? Quality over quantity.
How do you guys feel? What has been your experience working with me?
Where do we
Has it,
start?
I mean, where I
has
know.
it changed? Do you
Well,
feel
I
like
have a list here of
I know.
yeah, just kidding.
I'm letting you guys
Can
go
we get a
first
therapist in here
because
too?
I'm gonna go after both of you after this. So you guys make sure you got to say what you have to say because it's coming. Just a warning. I want to know what the dynamic was of us being just friends before and stylists, and then like doing this together. I know Marissa and I, this is still very new for us, and it's completely different. Ashley, you've had a lot more experience, I guess.
Mhm.
So let's talk about our
So
dynamics.
Ashley, tell me everything beforehand. Warn me.
Well, I would say I think a lot of it, I mean, I think we've been friends and coworkers for so long and different like working relationships in those years too. Um, that our relationship continues to like ebb and flow and grow and all the things. I think when we first opened here, I think I was in a different mindset and a different place where like you did have to take more on. And I appreciate that so much, but I think like sometimes you can get frustrated with me and all that stuff. And then I think though, as like the year and a half has gone on, it's like I think now I'm involved more, and you were able to take a step back, and it just works. I think where like
It's a balance. You guys
it's a
have had a
balance. Yes,
balance.
when he can't do something, for some reason I can, and vice versa. So like it just like works. And yes, he can be a freaking bitch. We know this. Like Saturday, Shayla texted me and goes, "You have the capes." I literally took one cape home to cut my neighbor's hair, and uh, the one cape was like really killing them that day. I was like,
First of
"Okay,
all,
I will bring the damn cape back." Okay,
first of all, I honestly don't believe you because Ashley's known to take towels. Okay, I'm
I've
gonna let you
done
go.
it once
Hold
because
on.
I
And
was
I
doing all
guarantee
the
you she's gonna
laundry.
end up coming back in 2 months because we only had 2 capes. I'm like, what happened to our 6?
No, we had four. We've only had four, sweetie, and you had three here, and I had one.
What?
Shayla said
He's
that's what
gonna end
Shayla
up
said.
coming back and being like, "Oh, look what I found."
No, I didn't find it. I will tell you. So,
Remember what happened with the
like,
towels, and then you found the basket?
okay, I found 10 towels. Okay, yes, that was my fault that time. But that would be the only downside too here is like we have to do our own laundry. But so I would just say, like, yes, he can be a brat sometimes, but also like his brattiness, like, unfortunately doesn't affect me. Like I don't it does like I just let him do it and I'm like, okay, here's your freaking
You're
cape. Like who
desensitized
cares?
after
I'm
all these
desensitized. Like,
years.
yes. But I think that's why it works. And that's why I think he really has never gotten that crazy on me or like we haven't really had any blow ups or whatever because I think I do like calm him. Like I allow him to
What?
be
Really?
kind of crazy and I'm just like, okay, because I'm not, would you agree?
I'm letting you go.
Okay. I would say, yeah, I like just kind of like, okay, yeah, okay. Like, and then
I
Last
agree.
episode, you guys were talking about having blow ups.
I say they were blow-ups, and I think the way that we fight, honestly, the way I think that even though we're obviously all of us are business partners, I definitely feel with Ashley, I'll go with Ashley first because Marissa hasn't said anything about me yet. That I think we have like you're almost like we're an older sister.
yes,
So I think sometimes I do appreciate that you are like sometimes like okay, but I also deal with certain things of like how you are and the things that you
oh
do. But I
yeah,
just
no,
no.
I
No. I'm not saying
100%.
anything negative. I'm just saying I do appreciate that. I think it's because those things that we both lack in or how can be, I think is very minimal and small compared to the way of all the positive things, which is why we've worked together for so long and
Yeah.
continue to do these things.
And I think
And
that's why, like, it hasn't ever become anything big. Like, even if we have gotten in like arguments or discussions or heated things, it always like we always are having each other's back. So it doesn't matter. So it's like we
I
always
think
come
only
back to
one
us.
time I remember when you got really mad is when, and I knew it was going to piss her off, that we were going back and forth and texting. And I was just like, fuck you. So I sent you a thumbs up.
Yeah,
I remember you
yeah,
actually bringing that up at the
I
last
need the thumbs
episode.
up. And so now he jokingly sends me thumbs up. But
And she literally called me and she was like, you bitch. You know that?
yes,
That
I
pisses me
hate a
off.
thumbs up. I hate a thumbs up. But I think it's just like it's in any relationship. I think we like have to discuss it. We have to get heated sometimes and then you like grow from it. And I think at the end of the day, I think with you guys too, it's like we all know where our hearts are and also what like our goals are and they do align. So like nothing's gonna derail that. Like him being upset about something, me being upset about something, I think it's all so trivial little. Not that it isn't big, but you know what I mean? It's things that we do have to discuss. But in the grand
Yeah.
scheme of things, it is so little and can be fixed.
Yeah.
Marissa, here's your chance.
Okay, let's see. Where do I start? Obviously, I was nervous going into a partnership with my best friend because I didn't want that to like, I was worried of how it would taint the relationship because I've heard other people go into businesses with their friends too and how the relationships completely changed.
Mm.
So that was a big thing. But the more I thought about it, I was like, well, who else would I want to go into this with? He has a strong ass fucking personality,
Yes.
but I love that bitch.
Mhm.
I feel like the very beginning, I actually think I expected you to be a lot more intense in the beginning. And I was almost like caught off guard. I'm like, oh, you're so like easygoing that it like, I think it threw me off when we were doing like going through the process of starting it all. And then,
Because I think I got that front when we were doing ours.
Thing too, what I would say was different. I think I had more of an emotional breakdown in the beginning because obviously that was my first time. And I
Yeah.
knew Ashley couldn't be there. And which I want to say thanks to my dad, my nephew, because my dad
Yes.
called us into that
They helped
later.
us so much. Yes,
Um,
yes.
But I think one of the differences was that I knew Ashley, you couldn't physically be there with me. So Marissa when like was able to physically be with
Mhm.
me during all these things. So I felt more so like, okay, like we're both stressed. So it's more so I did feel like sometimes I was like, oh, you can feel all the energy, but it was like, okay, I'm not alone in this right now. And then I didn't have a major breakdown at any point, even when technically opening up Hemlock and Co. I felt like there was more so things to freak out about than Aster and Cove.
I
And I
remember
didn't
when we were
get
in the
as
coffee shop.
emotional. And I think Ashley, though, you did show up, which I appreciate you. It's like I did have one freak out when I was like crying like crazy that you had to show up.
Mhm.
And it had to do with like, obviously I love my parents and stuff, but it was just like so much because working, like we said, with friends and family, and my dad was doing so much for us and my nephew and everything. And I was working with them so closely with Aster and Cove that I didn't have anyone to kind of break that ice. So I freaked out a little bit because I was like, oh my God, like you guys said, I am a bitch. I can be intense and I want things a certain way. And I have a way of being sometimes very direct when I should be softer. But with my family, you're going to be how you are. So I think that was at that, I was like, oh my God, like I'm going to lose it. So with Marissa, I think like going back to what you're saying, you were expecting more. I think I felt more like, okay, well, you talk to my dad.
I know. I was like,
And thank God that you knew Spanish. But yeah, so sorry, but didn't mean to interrupt you. But yes, that's probably why I was calmer than you
oh,
anticipated.
I'm so grateful for your dad. If it wasn't for your dad, we wouldn't have been able to do this the way we did it.
100%.
Like anytime I talk to people about the build out, they're like, you are so lucky that you had family, somebody, just that alone, somebody that's reliable, because it's so hard to find a reliable contractor. That was
And
like
I
such
think
a
he
game
like had,
changer for us.
I think it was amazing because he also wants this to be so successful for us too. Like, you know what I mean? Like he had like skin in the game in the
Emotional
sense of
ties to
like
it.
his heart was into it, you know? Like it wasn't just like we were just clients, you know? Like it's like
Yeah, he was
his
like,
son.
I'm making this happen. What do I need to
Yeah.
do? I will say
Yeah,
for
that
real quick, go on.
when we were having that plumbing issue, I was like, fuck, I need to call his dad. I think I was just like, oh God, I'm gonna bother his dad, or what time of the day should I even call him? Because I'm like, I know he's super busy. But even just that was like, oh God, I hate bothering people. I think more so too, because I'm like, I was just thinking we should just find another plumber to work with. But then I'm like, his dad already knows what we have going on. So he would be the best person to fix this situation. So I went with my dad beforehand to like, anytime we've had any type of issues with the salon, I go with my dad beforehand and we try to figure it out, or at least assess what's the problem. So then when I do relay the message to his dad, we already know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was but now that once that you told me what your dad, how he was like, just tell her to let me know when things, like to just call him, to not like be shy, or not be shy, but to feel bad about calling him. I feel like I needed to hear that to be like, okay, I'm not.
But even then, when you called him, she's like, I felt ugly doing that. And I was like, girl, I'm stressed
Well, you
out
told
here.
me that after, so then I was like,
Oh,
okay, I
that's
feel
true.
better. I will say when we first moved in though, I feel like the energy, I felt like, I think both of our energies, we just had like a lot of anxiety, and we're dealing with a lot going on because it was a new transition, that when we first moved in, it took a while for me to adjust. Like it took a while for me to be like, oh, at relief, or like happy that I made that change. Because I think the first like week or two, I felt like it was very chaotic and I was like absorbing all the energies around me. And I was like, fuck, like it almost didn't feel like, I think it took a while for the salon to feel like my place, or our place, if that makes sense. But at the 3-week mark is when I was finally like, oh, like now it feels like ours. Now it feels like home. Now the transition has settled. Everything's like smoothed over.
I think that's the funny part too, is like, I think we all kind of all feel that way moving into, I'm sure Ash probably felt that way into that space as well. Cause I do.
Yeah.
And I don't think we realize sometimes, like you just said, 3 weeks. That's actually pretty fast. We've only been here for like what, 2.5 months.
I know
And
everybody's
I,
like, you guys did
and
that
I
so
think it's
fast.
just like, I think that's something about all three of us is what I'm realizing, is that we want instant gratification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say that was something that I would see like the dynamics is where I'm like, oh fuck. Cause I already did this. So with Marissa, I was more so like, okay, we have to be patient. I have to be patient.
Yeah.
Be patient. I know that those things take time, but I know that we're both like wanting things like now. And it's just
Well,
like,
and I think that we
Wait,
opening a
I'm sorry.
space where you like actually have to work into right away is like a different, it's not like we could like, or sitting at a desk or something like that. It's like you literally has to be a workable space. Like, and we're losing money every day we're not working in it. So it almost like I'm sure it would have been in a perfect world if we could have waited longer to start working, whatever. Like, I'm sure you guys too, like to curate every little thing, that would have been great, but that's just not reality. So it obviously was
Yeah.
going to take a while for all of us to be settled, know where everything is, all that stuff. It's a brand new space that we like built from the ground up, basically.
what was like, that's a question for both of you guys. What's like the lowest moment? I know Marissa is still, what am I doing? Was there like ever a moment for both of you guys were like, fuck, like I'm fucked?
Yeah. Yeah. When we were at that coffee shop and they were doing the plumbing. I was like, fuck,
Did
what
you
did
hear
we
about
get
that,
ourselves
Ashley?
into?
Morris, to tell a story.
Oh. Basically, we had already figured out. So it took us days. Obviously, our place is small, the square footage is small. So it took us days of going back and forth and just trying to visualize what's going to be the best layout so we could both have a station downstairs. Because the best lighting is downstairs. It just got more open, but it's so small, and we knew we had to do two shampoo bowls. So we went back and forth for like almost 2 weeks, just trying to figure out what's the layout we're gonna do before we start ordering stuff. And then we finally realized, okay, we're gonna do one shampoo bowl in the main area, and then another shampoo bowl in the break room. And then later on, again, we played and realized, oh no, maybe we could do 2 shampoo bowls along the wall, and then that would give us enough space to both work. So we called his dad, told him the original layout, and then a week passed, he arrived, and we switched up the plans on him. We're like, oh, we want the shampoo bowls here. And he was like, that wasn't the plan. You guys didn't tell me that. But obviously he had his team there, and he's like, well, we're starting and we have to start the process now. So they started the process. That wasn't going to be the right move for us.
Yeah. So long story short, we basically were like, fuck. With like a
We
major,
can't do that.
it would have been a huge plumbing issue. But my dad was like, if we do this, you have to get permits, you have to do all these things. And he's like,
To do
and
the
this
shoe? To do the shoe or to do
for
the
the
second
location
place?
that
To
we
do the
wanted,
two
because
in that
we would be
part.
pulling a
in that
whole
location.
new,
Okay.
we would be pulling a whole new, we would be redoing the entire plumbing system, basically, is what we would have to do. And it was like, I was
All right.
like,
So
that's
then
gonna
we
take
can't do
a
that.
whole thing. I was like, fuck it, we're not gonna do it. But we got scared because it was just
Because he was
like,
basically like, I'm going to start the process. And we were both in the coffee shop like, well, fuck, we can't back out of this now.
Yeah.
So we were both just sitting with anxiety, like on AI
I
searching.
think we started drinking.
I'm sure we started drinking. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. And then luckily your dad called and was like, I'm not doing that. And we're like, okay, the universe was protecting us. We're going the safe route. We're just pulling water from the washer, which is, we wouldn't need permits. So it
Yeah.
worked out. But
Well,
that
and
was the
sometimes
moment.
I think that's like the best thing is like, especially if you're like on a time crunch, it's like you gotta do what like works.
Yeah.
I think for
Ashley?
me, the like fuck moment was probably the week of like Thanksgiving. Like even though we hadn't like, or it was like the week we got this space, but like I still had to work. And so I was like working. You like took the week off, but like I couldn't because I was so booked. We didn't have a ton of notice that the salon was closing. So we had nowhere to like work. So I had to like work here with like literally a mirror and a chair. And I feel like the lighting was terrible at first. Remember, like it was like so dark and all that stuff. Like, so I was doing a client like into the evening. She couldn't see her color. And it was just like, she was freaking out. Then the next day she was like, oh no, I love it. But she just was like, she couldn't see it. And it was just like, holy shit, what are we doing? Like, this is not, I think I was like having mental breakdown. Like, this is too much for me to like handle. And then I
Yeah.
think when you started having breakdowns, I was like, oh, we're fucked.
I remember you were like, oh shit, like that. Like, I'm really holding it together. This one's really losing it.
Yeah. Like, it's like, it was pretty bad when I was like the calm one. I was like, you were supposed to be the calm one. Like, I am scared. But, and also too, I'm sure when you guys feel it, like, it's just like money's flying out left and right. And you're like,
Scary.
we're not working. Like it was just, also paying for the space as we're like paying for everything else. It just was like, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a small space, like, like imagine
Yeah,
if like,
you're still so much money, so many little things you have to put into that you don't think
yeah.
of.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
but
stuff that he and I like never like, we would get here and like, oh my God, we need a broom. Like, like it's just stuff like you never thought, like it's the stupidest stuff that like by working at a salon, you never realize like, oh wait, we like need that.
all the things that we took for granted.
Yes.
Would you change or go back to working at another?
No, I like love our space. Like I love our vibe. I love our space. No, like would I say down the line, like if we wanted to expand a little more, have like more people, would I be opposed to that? No, not at all. Like something still very, very small. Because I do love working in the salon. Like, so I think
Yes.
like if all shit hit the fan and like for some reason we decided that we need to be back in a salon, like I would be okay with that too. Because I think at the end of the day, it's really our clients and us. And I think we like know enough people that we would know like the vibe before we
Yes.
entered. But I'm never going to say never because like I do love working with other people too. So
100%. And it's like, you never know what goals or what things are going to change. And
yeah,
yeah, I like that.
what
Never
life
say
brings
never.
us, I never say never, but like, do I love where we're at right now? 100%. And do I see it changing anytime soon? No. So yeah.
Marissa?
I'm on the same boat. I'm very happy with where we're at. I actually have absolutely no regrets. I think things had to happen the way they were supposed to happen. Um, right now, I am liking this small space, but who knows later on? I feel like the second we got this space, I was already thinking about like expanding, but I'm liking this space so much too. I feel like now I'm just playing it by ear and seeing how everything goes because I do love it. I am super happy there.
I feel the same way about both spaces. I will say that like one thing that I like about Aster and Cove in the sense is that like how we can, it's on one floor is how like we can have like all of our clients all in there. It can be a little tight, but I would say like it's nice to the conversation of going back and forth. Here I feel is more airy, more open though. So I
Mhm.
do like that, but I think the upstairs, but who knows when we have other stylists, I would like something of the same size that maybe one floor, but then again, we're only here 2 months. So I don't know. And obviously we always, knowing me, I always want something more. I always want a new bag. I always want something new.
Mhm.
So something that I'm trying to earn myself is like, which I was even get you guys that book, what Don't Believe Everything That You Think. And I think it's just because I'm trying to more so appreciate and enjoy the moments where I'm
Mhm.
at right now because I feel like me, I'm never happy or satisfied with what I have. I'm like, I want this, I want what I want, and then I get it, and I want something else.
You always want the
Mhm.
next step.
I, and so now now I'm learning and I'm really appreciating all the small things that we have. So like seeing
Mhm.
how the space is right now, like even being here right now, filming this, I'm just kind of like, okay, this is so great seeing where you're at, Ashley, and knowing that we have two spaces and it's really good. And it's just like, I'm really trying to remember, like, don't look so far ahead sometimes. Like, obviously have a plan and think of what we're wanting to do, but like, also just like, hey, look at what I wanted and look where we're at now
Yeah.
to like really like appreciate that and just to kind of like learn to live a little bit more in the moment. For
Mhm.
that's the goal this year is just to live in the moment, work hard, and appreciate the things that we all work so
Mhm.
hard to do. So that's somewhere where I want to like keep my mental and spiritual space at.
Yeah. Because I think sometimes just like being present and like being and like enjoying what we have is a huge gift because I think I'm the same. I think we're like hustlers too. So it's like we're always like on to the next. What can we do better? What can we do more? How can we grow? How can we grow? But sometimes it is like nice to just like not look ahead all the time, and just like I even feel like this in like being a mom. I feel like I'm always like, okay, the next step, the next step. But it's like kids are only little for so long. It's like you gotta like appreciate the small things sometimes, and not always be like looking to the future. And I think with the salons, it's the same. It's like who knows what will happen tomorrow, but I say for today, like enjoy it.
Where do you guys see yourselves in the next year or two, personally and business? Like, what are your guys' hopes and dreams?
Do you want me? Who wants to go first?
You can go first.
I'll go first. Okay. I think that I have a lot more time now. I feel like, especially like come the fall when the boys are in school, even for like a little bit longer days, that I can refocus on my business. I do feel like I was so career driven and focused for so many years, for 15 years before I had kids. Um, and having kids really forced me to like set boundaries and also where my job and my work was not number one priority anymore. And so I did have to kind of take a step back and work less, be less available, all the things. And I feel like I'm coming into a season eventually in the next like year that like I'm refocused, I think, with work and just being able to like grow again, Like I feel like I had to like take on less clients, all that stuff where I think I'm going to be able to like take on more. And I think I'm always trying to be the best at all of it. So I always want to know all the latest and greatest everything. I think I used to take so many classes and so much education. I think I want to like start doing that again this year because I kind of that had to take a break on that for a while because I just didn't have the time. And probably just like start new things, with in work and just see what pans out. I think we all have like some plans, So just
Reinvent yourself myself.
Reinvent ourselves constantly.
Yeah. I think for me, it's just focusing on our baby or my new baby, the salon. I just want to continue to grow that and build it. I'm super excited for the marketing of the salon, even just for us to have the sign. Like, I'm so excited for these small things that I've been waiting for. And I feel like once I see them, then they're going to hit me. Um, but really, just continuing to grow the business, definitely always working on my own like mental health. Basically, just trying to like rewire my brain to stay positive, stay focused, continue to build confidence as I go. And yeah, I feel like I'm not thinking so much like we said, I'm not thinking of like, oh, I want to expand or anything and so on. I think right now I'm just actually this is one of the few times in my life that I actually feel like I am just very present right now, and I'm just like embracing this new chapter in my life.
I love that.
Yeah. What about you, Christopher?
I would say I'm kind of like, I have plans for like my future as far as like business wise. Um, but going back to what you were saying, Marissa, is like also I'm trying to still be very present and where I'm at right now and focus on creating a balance between both like Orange County and LA and personal, family things. There's always so many things that can kind of, no, I don't want to say get in the way, but can kind of sometimes just be overwhelming. So I think what I'm trying to do is really focus on just being okay with slowing down a little bit, just because slowing down doesn't necessarily mean that, you're taking back from work, but it's more so I think being more intentional and like planning out my days better and my mindset better. So that way I'm not feeling so like stretched so thin. And I think that's something that I've learned within the past, I would say year, even with, me changing my diet, working out and moving. And I would say like one thing that's helping it is being closer to home, my work. So that way I just feel like I have more time because I would say the driving, I didn't even realize how much that was taking from me. Um, and then to be in a space where I wasn't happy anymore took a lot from me. So I feel like just even not this past year, this year has been so good with just like feeling more calm and making sure that I take care of my body. Because we all know if we don't take rest, the universe is going to make us and we're going to get like, I was just sick last week and I had like a little bit of a panic attack because of that. But my goal to answer the question is just to keep building and be more intentional with my time and with my clients.
And I think like that is huge for like anyone that is a hairstylist or even like owns their own business is like the balance. I think that's like the hardest thing to get a grip on is just like when you work for yourself, it's like it is for so long all about just working, grinding, all that stuff. But like I think all of us get to a point where we're like burnt out. And it's like I think all of us also too, it's like if you don't have time for like yourself, even in the sense of like being able to do your laundry, like make sure your house is like the way you want it, eating the way you want, like it really like can affect you hugely. And I think that's like what I have tweaked going back to your thing, like the last year. It's like I have really tried to make it where at least like one day a week, like I'm home by myself to like do the things that like make me feel grounded and like not stressed and not chaotic and all that stuff. And I think it's like fully changed like how I am too, how I even show up at work too, because like it's not so, just like keeping your stuff organized together, all that stuff. It's like it does help like everything run smoother.
100%, because it's just once we get unorganized in our business, things start crumbling. And it's just like, then we get, well, and just like, and then it's like hard playing catch up. And it's just like, oh my gosh. So
I think that's where my brain has been going the last like few nights, waking up at 3 a.m, just thinking of all the stuff that we need to do for the business that we haven't done yet.
you see, I don't think I'm there right now. I think in my mind right now is like the salon. I'm, I'm more so, I think I was such like that I kind of, I think taken a step of like, okay, Christopher, it'll eventually get done when it's done. But I think that was like, I'm in 2 salons. So and tell me if I'm crazy, you guys. I don't know if you guys, I think sometimes for me being in both, it's hard for me to focus. And then just because it's like our salon isn't just our business, it's also our one thing about us as people that are hairdressers only know this is that even though we're all business partners in the sense of like with our space, but we all run our businesses completely separately of how we actually make the income. And I think for me, that was something that I was like, oh God, like trying to balance out because thank God I was so busy that I felt honestly overwhelmed that I couldn't even mentally focus on like the salon or small things like that, like inventory. I was kind of like, oh my God, like I'm physically exhausted. And I would say the last 2 months, which I'm super grateful to be busy, but my body was hurt and my body's still recovering right now. I was like, oh my God, is this what getting older is? Like, what the fuck is happening to me?
I know
Uh,
you're a machine, so to hear when you're not well, that like feel like that scares us
Yeah.
all.
but everything,
I
and I
think,
just also, one thing I'm good at is trusting the universe.
mm,
And I trust the universe that it always works out in the way it's supposed to. And everything just have to be patient. And I'm not a fucking patient person.
This is a different person that we're talking to. I'm done.
yes.
And I'm not, and I know that about myself. I'm not patient. And that's something that I literally have to like tell myself all the time. I journal like crazy because I'm just like, oh
Mhm.
my God. Like many people probably wouldn't, no, everyone knows I'm not a patient person.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many times you're like, okay, we need to do this, we need to do that, like, blah, 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 like a word vomit. Like I'm like, no, we have to do this step first. Make sure we like that before we do
I
do this
think that's
step.
something, there we go. I would say something that is different between you and Ashley. I feel like me and Ashley are like "Brr," doing that. We're like, okay, bye, bye, bye. And then we get it. And so I felt like with that, and then I would say when you slow it down, I think my momentum, which is not saying it's a bad thing, then I'm like, okay, well, I kind of like lose it because then I'm more like, okay, now it's too much. I get too scared, I would say more so. I would say that's my insight. Then I'm like, okay, now I'm thinking about it too much. Now I don't know. When I would say with Ash and I, because we're both like, okay, fuck it. Let's see what happens. And then it would eventually work or would it work?
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that's
I think
something with
you and
my
I are like
personality.
impulsive in the sense of like quick to like, we see something and we just get it, buy it, whatever. And we'll like return it if we have to, or if like we hate it, we'll figure that out later.
And it's like,
But
who
I
has
think,
the money? You or me? We'll figure it out.
I know.
Like,
I just think it's like,
Where I'm like, let's look at the finances. Should we,
yes.
what's more
and that's not
important,
a
this
bad
or
thing
that?
at all.
And that,
Yeah.
no,
That's
that's not a bad thing. I would say like, that's what one thing that you did say, Chris, about the differences is like Marissa is like so much more like business side where you and I are just like, we'll make it work, honey. Like, I don't know where it's like Marissa is a little more logical, but it's like great, I think. Like, like he and I were just like going
what's going
rogue
to make it
with some of
happen.
it. Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Or it worked out perfectly fucking amazing.
Yeah. So it just is sometimes different personalities, but I think it's like
Yeah.
also like there's a great thing in both of them,
Yeah. Clearly you work well with all personalities, which is great.
I do. Yes, I actually
Mhm.
do.
And
I
we
hope
work well with yours.
you guys can consider yourself lucky
I
and
know.
blessed. But yeah, I think that about sums up everything for this podcast. Is there anything you guys want to like share or let out or ask each other anything?
Mm,
I know. I'm trying to think.
no, I'm like looking. Oh, some questions you had were there's a random one that you had was what humbled you?
Okay, we can end it with that question. Who wants to go first?
I was like, I'm still being humbled every day as we're
I
doing
know.
this process.
Let's think of something. I would say what humbled me. I would say you're right. Every day, what humbles me. I think what humbles me is me knowing that I can't physically fucking build anything, and that I need someone. It's like I could do my work, and I would say that part of it, like running. I know that I can't. I'm good at like the social part and connecting with clients and bringing people in and like the social part of it. But what humbles me sometimes I'm more like, oh my God, like when it comes to like the technical and the building of things and just like, I'm like, I don't know. Like,
Mhm.
it's just what I want. Can someone make it happen? And then knowing that we have to like research and doing all those things. And it's just like, no, I can't do it all. Like I need help. And that's
Yeah.
something that I would say it was hard for me to do is like, I don't like to ask for help. Fucking hate it. So that humbling part for me is asking for it and then receiving it without feeling some type of way. So
Mhm.
that's humbling.
What about you, Ashley?
I would probably say the same in the sense of like, I think I'm being humbled every day these days. Um, but in like work, life, all the things, I think that probably the fact, like basically what you were saying, it's like I'm so used to being like a machine and taking it all on and making it work and making it look like I have it together. And I think that when we then took on the salon, it was like I couldn't hide that like I was overwhelmed, like in my life, my business, all the things. And I think that having Chris to like pick up on the slack for me was great, but it like also super hard for me to like be like, I can't do everything. And I'm not used to being that person. You know, like I always think I can do it all, but we can't. And help is okay. Like, you know, but it's a hard pill to swallow at the same time.
100%.
Yeah. Same. Exact same. I hate asking for help. I hate it. I fucking hate it. But I feel like it's forced me to like, I like to try to learn things out on my own, try to figure it out before. And then if I really need help, then I will, because that's worst case scenario for me. So that was a big thing. Obviously, even talking to your dad, having your dad do the stuff for us, like that's where I think like a guilt, like I hate bothering people to help. But yeah, that's
So
it.
have you been asking for help?
Yeah.
Just kidding, I'm just fucking
When
with
you
you.
yell at me to do it.
Of like, come on.
I think also on a side note, what has humbled me this last year is like, I can't work like I used to either. Like my body is not, this bitch is old. No, not, it just is like, I mean, you guys know, like I used to be slinging 12-hour days, like 5 days, 7 days a week sometimes, you know? And I
I
like
don't
do
know how
one
you
now
guys would go all day without eating.
and what?
I said, I don't know how you guys would go all day without eating.
I know. I still kind
I
of do
still
that
do.
because I think when I'm hungry, I go faster. It's like when I eat, I want to like sit and then I'm like go so slow. I don't have the option to go slow. So like I think I like have to starve myself to like make myself fucking move. And I still sometimes am a mosier. We know this.
It
But
is so funny. Sorry.
I would
Go on.
just say like I can't do what I used to do. Like, and I have to be okay with that because, like, if, like, for instance, yesterday I worked a crazy day, and like today I feel like I woke up and it looked like I was like swollen. I looked like I got hit by a truck, honey. Like, you know, it just is. I think we have to take care of our bodies more now than we used to,
Yeah.
for sure.
No,
You guys
I
need an air
100%
purifier in
agree.
there.
Which that's humbling.
I would say that the thing that humbled me and I feel blessed is my parents. And in the
Mhm.
sense, like, I didn't realize I can sometimes be very prideful and very like, I got this, I got this. And I think I didn't want, so in this weird thing, it's brought me closer to my parents again, where I felt like I was like, oh my gosh, like where I was just, I needed them.
Mhm.
And so I think in that sense, I'm very blessed that I actually am still able to go to them and they are able still to help. And then the way that they came and wanted to still be there for you guys and also help you guys and like how they were just so like, what does
Giving.
Ashley need? What, giving and
Yes.
like, well, what does Marissa need? And even my mom was like, oh, Ashley, like my sweaters, just little things like that where I was just kind of, I'm like, I was like, and then she bought Ashley 3 of them. And I was like, well, what the fuck? I got 2.
I love it. I can't wait for her to go shopping more for me. No,
But
but
like I would
and
say that part made me feel really blessed, but also like humbled knowing that like I need people.
yeah, and that's okay. Like, and that's the thing. It's like I think that we all have to be okay with like it does take a village, and we can't do this on our own sometimes. Like even in anything in life, like sometimes there's a reason like we have other people in our lives sometimes, and we have to lean on them. And I'm the worst at that. Like I remember I talked about last episode. Like I like really kept and still kind of my circle is very very small, but it's like the people that I do pour into, I know will be there for me no matter what. And sometimes we have to ask for help. You know.
Right.
Well said. Well said.
You guys, thank
Love
you for
you.
Love you.
having this conversation. And till next time, I will see you
Yes.
guys soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.